Welcome back to the Collaborative Canvas and to our special series, second episode, Success Chronicles. The series is all about showcasing the testaments and the commitment of individuals who have transformed themselves into who they are today, sharing stories of growth, resilience, and success. In each episode, we deep dive into the journey of these remarkable people, exploring how they have overcome those challenges and shaped their own path to success. Today's guest is someone who truly embodies transformation and creativity, Arianna Carmen Rose, or as many call her, the Canva Queen. Recently named a leading woman of excellence by East Side Austin magazine in this year. Ari is a award-winning website designer, but she's so much more than that. Specializing in service-based business with 1 to 3 people like real estate agents, speakers, and coaches, Ari has a unique approach. She combines psychology and storytelling to create stunning, high-converting websites that generate real results. Her clientele includes everyone from NFL players to Forbes entrepreneurs and popular businesses in Austin like yoga studios and luxury med spas. Welcome, Ari Rose. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for joining the call today. Um, guys, just to give a little more glimpse about Ari Rose, she got a tagline called "I create business, not art," and she's known for building bold and powerful, badass brands that make her clients stand out of the crowded market. In just 1 week, she transformed her clients' brands to meet their unique goals, and the result speaks for themselves. Product sells out, schedules filled up, and business thrives. If you're looking to up level your business, watch out for the force that Ari Rose come along with. But before we jump into these Ari stories and the magic behind her nickname, the Canva Queen, as we all call her, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this with the episode with someone who really resonated with our insights and our conversation. I would recommend your support. That's going to help us continue bringing more and more amazing conversations like this one. And now let's get dive into the conversation. And Ari, once again, welcome. And my first question to you, we always talk about the personal branding aspect, and it comes along with certain values and missions altogether. What basically this design aesthetic reflect in a personal value and a mission of any individual? And to cite, as an example, I'll take yours. You have famed yourself to be on the magazine cover, and half of the Austin knows you. So tell me
Yes.
about that.
I think personal branding is something that I just kind of fell into, but it uses so much psychology. I have two psychology degrees as well. And first impressions matter. We judge someone in milliseconds, right? And the average website is viewed only 15 seconds or less in 2024. And the reason why I am very bold and badass whenever I build a brand is because whenever you're bold and you showcase yourself, that's authentic, you are memorable. And there's so many people, that have similar businesses that you really do need to be the authority in your space. You need to have personality. And I want to remember, like, oh, she's the life coach that's fully tatted, or I want to work with the finance consultant that cusses. Like, you really have only a few seconds to make that impression. And really, what you're doing is you're connecting with your ideal audience. So, for example, for me, I say badass a lot in conversation, and that's what became my brand. Um, but if somebody doesn't resonate with that, they're not going to hire me anyway, right? But the people who do resonate with myself, then they're already seeing my personality. They're seeing the language on my website, and they're like, oh my God, she gets me. She's like me. So we're really just using that connection because people only buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. And so we're using your personality online whenever you can't be present. So I'm using psychology to essentially get you sales when you're sleeping.
I'll come back to that psychology thing because that's kind of a very deep diving conversation that I can actually have with you. And coming from a market research background, when we study psychology in terms of consumer behavior and the patterns, I think it is very relevant to, even understand your customer. And when it
Yeah.
comes with a unique identity that you really have to, come up with to plan the strategies around your own business, then I think that's a hell of a task. So, considering, you mentioned that psychology and the storytelling makes you the badass queen.
Yeah.
So tell me something about, in how and what ways have you built a unique identity of your business, which is differentiated? I mean, when I saw the website, I was like, wow.
Thank you. I have to be the model, right? I think I've built my own by just being myself. I used to be a special education teacher for 6 years here in Austin. And being a special education teacher, you realize that everybody learns differently. Everybody takes in information and has a different style. And I think I take that approach with business owners. I really take the time to get to know them. So I do a 2 hour interview. And that's where I really want them to feel heard. What are your business goals? What have you tried? How many clients do you have? What is the 5 year vision? What is your life vision? I really take that and really honor it. Like you're trusting me not with just a website. You're trusting me with your business, your livelihood. This is a really big deal. And I think for me, I really took the time to say, you know, the faster somebody's online with a badass brand, the faster they make money. How can I build my business to really be efficient and organized and streamlined, right? So I'm respecting my clients' time. And so I think my business was built with my clients in mind. And I really believe what I'm preaching in the sense of, why do we need to take months long to build a brand? That's insane. Like, why? And why should I build a website if I don't know you? Why would you trust me? I feel like I built everything to make sure that I have rapport with someone, but I think I've done it in a very unique way where I'm like, I can do this in a week. Like I've streamlined it down to where this is easy, So I don't know. I feel like I guess it's just who I am. Like I like results. Like I want to move. I want to thrive right away. Why do we need to take so long?
No,
So
that's really
that's just
true. That's really true. It's been said that, you build the brand, but brand take its own time to, become a brand. You start something today and it's not that, you become a brand tomorrow. But if you really have a set goal that, I don't want to spend time for next 5 years to be something. And I think something that I really work on. I mean, somebody told me that, to establish yourself takes about 5 years or so. And I said, that's a long time. I mean, I probably am not be living by then. So why not I live
oh,
it today? And so I thought, let's dive a little deeper as to what strategies I can implement and where that storytelling can come in the play. And then when you said, the psychology and the storytelling, and then, having a own equals the personal
yeah,
story, this thing definitely, resonates a lot. How does it
yeah.
resonated with your target audience? And I mean, considering that you're really badass, I mean, when it comes to, jazzing things up and creating altogether a different a person of probably different brand of a person out of it. I mean, I've seen the website and I can tell you and I can tell my audience as well, if you haven't seen her website, just go and check it out. I mean, it's all about her very minimalistic website and it's yet very powerful website. So you can probably go and check it out. And that's why my question to you, Ari, is how this resonated with the target audience, through your branding.
A lot of people have seen that I practice what I preach, that less is more. We don't need to have, paragraphs and paragraphs and do all of this SEO, copywriting. Everybody has a personality. Everybody's so unique. And that's why you've made every sale that you've made, right? What if you've only made one sale. It was because somebody knew you, liked you, and trusted you. And so when I say like showcase your personality, people are like, oh, no, 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 I have to be so professional. I have to be so, and I'm like, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to resonate. You really have to step into yourself. And I think that's kind of what I've modeled is the more and more I push myself as an introvert to go on stage and be myself and talk and share my beliefs, I think my clients are like, "Oh my God, she's getting more and more traction just being herself." And then whenever I take mainly women, they're terrified of showcasing their personality, terrified of getting brand photos. But the moment that they do it, they notice a big shift in their clients. More people are coming to their website, more people are closing. And so they're like, I didn't really change anything. It was me not being scared to showcase who I am, right? And so I'm just like, I'm just taking your personality and I am showcasing it to more people. You are your business. You're so magnetic. You're so beautiful, all of these things. So I think I've led by example is if I can do it, I'm only like a year into business and I'm doing very well. I think people trust me that I'm doing what I'm saying you should do, right? So
I
I
think
love to
you,
do
I think
that.
you pick up that shiny element of your clients and then promote them. Even if they're an introvert, they become, famous. I
Yeah,
think that's very catchy kind of a thing, and people should love it because, I think playing with your own personal brand sometimes either
yeah,
it's an OG situation or as one of my guests on my podcast said, let's be authentic, who we are. Let's be OG rather than, show who you're not. How do you maintain this across platforms? Because stability across social media platforms, not just website, is very crucial, and that consistency remains the same.
Yes, I would say that the clearer you can be, the more people will trust you. And so whenever I work with someone, I make their voice very clear and it's something where it's super easy to repeat on your website. And then as long as you're being yourself, right? Like I would say whether you're on LinkedIn or Instagram or your website, I start with your foundational message, right? That for me, it's you should have a badass, bold brand to be memorable. Everything kind of falls in that. There's no generic content in that. Once you have this very clear message, it's very easy to repeat it on other platforms. Um, but I always say like be yourself in your messaging. Don't use like ChatGPT or content that you wouldn't say to your friends. I always say like if you would have this conversation with people who know you, then that works. But if you're trying to be stiff and professional and put a bunch of keywords for the algorithm, nobody's going to resonate with that. So I always just say, like, if you're going to maintain consistency, you just have to be yourself and talk to, maybe you only have a few followers, but that's going to grow if you're just being yourself.
And something that I was actually talking to one of my friends yesterday, it's not about increasing the YouTube subscribers. It's
No.
about the content. It's about,
Yeah.
what is you're actually showcasing. And again, taking you back to that psychology and the storytelling thing. Um, Building a trust is something it's very evident. I mean, it's very crucial as well, when you do a
Yeah.
website, and that's what attracts a lot of customer. Any specific instances while working with a client that, you said something about your own storyline and the way you created your own brand? I'm sure there have been numerous stories there that probably, people would have connected with you.
Yeah. I always write when I feel inspired. I never write for the algorithm or anything. I just, I'm always sharing something that deeply affected me. For example, I'm really a big proponent of, women should be financially empowered. Statistically, we haven't had a lot of the same opportunities as men. And that's something I'm really passionate about. And I was terrified to share because it's such a bold thing to say. But it's something that I talk to my friends about quite often, right? Where, a lot of women will stay in situations, maybe jobs or relationships that don't necessarily serve them, but they may not have money to leave or maybe scared to leave. And my story experiencing that in my life has, I think people can see that I've struggled and that I'm really passionate about it for a deep reason. And I think that's why those posts, I get a lot of engagement or a lot of messages on LinkedIn saying like, hey, that's my story too. Or when I do have money for a brand, I'm gonna only work with you. And I think it's because I was willing to be really vulnerable and share like I've grown up in a really, really hard situation and I didn't have any money starting this business. I had no money, $0. So I think, my bravery and my boldness has actually paid off, but I was terrified. I was like, what if I like lose all my customers? I don't know. But I think it's my personal story of, that's how humans learn, right? Like we've always, since the beginning of time, have shared stories and we shared them orally and then we wrote them down. People resonate with a story. And that's why we love movies and all of those things. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, but now I'm like, oh, wow, they resonate with my story. They're my perfect fit customer. Oh my gosh, like I want to work with them because I relate to their background. And so I think not being scared of showcasing some vulnerable aspects of why we believe what we believe and why we're passionate about something is a really powerful way. I don't know what it could be for someone, but I try and find that with all my customers to like own their story, right? Like I used to have this baseball player and he got injured really quickly after, signing his contract. And he was really embarrassed because he was like, oh no, everyone's gonna know that like I didn't really play. And I'm like, no, 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 but you pivoted. You became a speaker, you became a coach. Like you did so much with it. This is a crucial element of how you really dreamed of being a baseball player, but it didn't work out for you, but life still goes on, right? And so once he stepped into that, oh, his speaking engagements changed and he got more bookings because that is a normal part of life that things don't work out. So it's about owning that story, I think.
Yeah, I think I can see those posts about women empowerment and the things that you actually struggled during your early days and who you have
Yes.
actually become. So truly, what an inspiring conversation I'm actually having with Ari Rose. And ladies and gentlemen, from her unique ability to blend psychology and the storytelling to design website that are just very beautiful. In fact, it truly resonated with one's personality when the websites are being created, and it's truly business driven. Ari is its story is just a testament and to how powerful transformation can be when you are committed to your own craft. And that's what she just talked about, whether it is the baseball player or any NFL players we talk about, the countless number of entrepreneurs where, she reached out to and they reached out to her. And there's a philosophy that she just mentioned to become a badass brand. And that's something we can all learn from her. I mean, definitely, she's available on LinkedIn. She's available on, I think, Instagram as
My,
well.
yeah, my Instagram is mainly me hiking and meditating. I don't really post business stuff,
All
but
right.
you can follow me on
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
as well.
that's again the part of your storytelling part. So, if you're kind of
Yeah.
looking to hike, learn more about meditations, you can still reach out to her because she's all over the places. And that's, I enjoyed the conversation and I found a lot of value in Ari's insights because this definitely, make sure, if you're really going to change yourself for good, you probably have to start from your own website. And sometimes, it does work. So you can reach out to Ari at any point of time. And if you have really enjoyed this episode, just like I did, and you definitely found out, a good insight of our conversation, then please don't forget to subscribe to the Collaborative Canvas as you don't miss future episodes in our Success Chronicles. And This is the second episode, so there are many more to come. Thank you so
Yay.
much, Ari, and it's such a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to talk to you on this episode.
Thank you. It's been a joy. I'm super glad that I met you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you guys have found someone who could benefit from this discussion, please go ahead and share this episode with them. We're building a community of listeners who are thrive on stories of transformation. And your support is what makes it all possible. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing us out and stay with us till we alive and we create more stories. Thank you so much.
Yay.